All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I never remember what day it is, Thursday's live session, 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time or something. I don't know. There's always this PST versus PDT thing, and I can never remember. I should just say Pacific Time, and then one day we'll all get on the same page. How are you doing there, Dave?
Yeah, all good here. Weather's changed in the UK, so summer's over, which we never really had one. So
summer's dead. Yeah, I know. You got the hoodie on. You're trying to stay warm.
Freezing.
Yeah. What's so like in Celsius? What is summer over mean? Like, is it like 10 degrees, 20 degrees?
Yeah, we're 13 today.
13. Okay, that's awful. So for in Fahrenheit, that's 26 plus 30, so 56. 56 degrees. Yeah, that's not warm. What are we? Hang on, I'm gonna check too. Small chat. Weather. How's the weather? It's it's 16 degrees here, so I'm only 3 degrees warmer, which is fine. Yeah, the pool days are over. So, Agency Accelerator chat is now open to everyone. Did you put that, or did I put it, or
I didn't put it?
It just did it automatically.
Yeah,
the robots.
Drop your questions in. If anyone's got any questions, drop them in the chat. We'll dive straight in and answer away.
You betcha. There we go. Let me see if I can do this too, so it shows up nice and easy between us. Look at that. Michael, greetings from blessings from Reno, Nevada. Hello, Michael. Samuel, good day. Found your video on book suggestions and really enjoyed it. Okay, awesome. Yeah. I knew I had one out there. Actually, I've got. Again, I probably overdid it, as I tend to do. But if you look up my advertising book suggestions, I think there's like 42 books on writing ads. But I promise you, if you're nerdy like us and you read through those 42 books, like you're gonna know more about advertising than you ever need to. All right, hang on. Let's keep resizing. There we go. That worked out well. That's perfect. Okay, there we go. Sam was wondering, as you got more celebrity at any point, did you start to take measures for your privacy? If so, what would you have done at an earlier stage? Change your name, obscured address? Yeah, actually, yeah, good question. And yes, the answer is totally yes. We've done a couple things. So early on, and this was before I became internet famous in the marketing sense of the term.
Classing yourself famous.
Class internet famous. I'm famous to like a very small group of people. Outside of us, no one knows. But my wife was always really keen on like not putting our kids' photos on social media. And I've got a lot of friends that do, and they're just fine. So they put their kids all over. For the record, they will make more money from it by putting your kids, because people like looking at pictures of kids. She was really against it. I wasn't against putting my kids on, but I was against putting almost anything on, because if you ever do happen to read the terms of service, which spare yourself, but like the terms of service of Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and everything, they can use it for whatever they want. Like they own that property. That's theirs. They can show it and all kinds of stuff. So there is the chance that people can start associating, like they'll just use it for bad things that you don't want. And then we do value the privacy. So other than that, not a ton. I mean, I don't go around publicly posting things about like address and location, and we're somewhat cautious about what we show. And like when I show the house or I take any video of it, I try to show like never the full on front, even though you'd never find it in some small town. And even then it wouldn't be a concern, but I'm just somewhat cautious of it. I make sure my kids are pretty much never in a video. So whether it's like Instagram story or a YouTube video, they're never in there. If they are, it's like the back of their heads, or like maybe they'll run by, but I'm cautious of that. The business name is registered under the lawyer's address or like a PO box in a different city. So I think we're not paranoid, but we're just cautious because there's the odd crazy person out there. And then also we do have, like, we live in a small town in a gated yard with security systems, with cameras, with alarms, with a dog, with neighbors that are very nosy and friendly. So it's like everybody, it's a safe place. But yeah, I wouldn't go putting like your public home address there. Cool. Esteban, hello from Tampa. Hello, Esteban. Brushmasters Painting. Hey, good to see ya. Glad you're here. And look who's in the house, Jesse. Hey, we were just talking about you, literally like 5 minutes ago before we went live, talking about scaling and next steps and looking at the program. It's like, oh, cool. What do we need now to like take it from 6 to 7 figures? That's not in there already, including things on like hiring and outsourcing and delegating and systems and operations. SOPs and things like that. So be aware. We're thinking of you and are working on things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on for a 20K month. So awesome to see his progress through the program and coming out. I don't think he. I mean, again, when you sign up, you don't, like we spoke about before. We don't think like 10K is possible, and then all of a sudden, Jesse's goal was 10K, and then now he's about to hit 20K. So yeah. Super pumped with him.
So so proud of you, dude. I never got to tell you that. Yeah, Jesse, amazing work, man. It's like without getting overly emotional, it's hard to explain how proud I am of you because like you did it, right? Like, yeah, sure. We showed you a path and gave you some systems and things like that, but you're the one that went out there and actually implemented it. So you get the biggest pat on the back ever. And your accomplishment and your achievement is something no one can take away from you. And I think like hitting 10K a month is amazing for sure. But like hitting 20K a month and that, like you make more now than, I don't know, doctor, dentist, whatever it is. And that's cool. Like that's neat. In fact, I love my doctor. I think I've got a few. I think they're the nicest, most amazing, selfless people in the world, but I wouldn't trade spots with them for anything. Anything. Okay. Funnel for a house painting business. Easy peasy. We need a landing page of some kind. So some way to collect leads with some kind of offer. So you don't just paint houses. What do you do? Like, how do you do it? Do you do it faster? Do you do it cheaper? Don't do it cheaper. Do you do it better? Do you do it with this kind of paint? Do you do it in off seasons? Do you do this special kind of houses? Like, what's your differentiator? Why is that important? What's that?
Guarantees as well. A lot of people have the guarantees on there.
Yeah, perfect. Everlasting, fade-proof, chip-proof paint, come back, free touch-ups for a year, whatever it is. So that's your funnel, basically your main piece. Now we need traffic to it. So we need some kind of, and it could be anything, honestly. Typically it's some kind of search market. So we'll be using like SEO, Google Ads, local business, Google business page stuff. That goes then to that actual landing page. Then on the landing page, there's some incentive to get them to enter their information, free quotes, show up, free paint, this thing, brush, et cetera, et cetera. And then once they put in any kind of information on the thank you page, we have some kind of fast action incentive, some reason for them to act now. By the way, if you book today or you give us a call or we do a quote, we'll give you this thing or 20% off or have this other thing. And then we follow up aggressively with text, phone, showing up at their house, anything you can think of to basically make sure simultaneous team drinking. Cheers.
Mine's vodka.
Your bottle. Yeah, I was going to say your bottle's way cooler than mine. Mine's like retro 1990s Nike soccer team.
Yeah, this is the best thing I've ever bought because it filters the water for you. You press it and then it lights up and it filters water.
No way. I bet you money that's just a blue light. It's just like
it's on Dragon's Den.
Oh, was it? What's it called? I'll have to get one.
It's Lark, Larq. But yeah, it filters, purifies water for you, so it gets rid of all like the bacteria. Doesn't get rid of like stones or sand or anything like that.
Yeah. You drink, you just pour in a bottle of Coke. It's all that Thames River water. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesse, favorite way to spend my Thursday afternoon? Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad he's joining. I miss him on the calls. I miss his questions and his energy. We were just talking about that as well.
We were talking about that as well. So yes, we'll let us work on this, and then we'll have something for you. Otherwise, yeah, we're not there yet, but we will be so soon because it's actually top priority. Q. Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Checking in from Albany. Amazing, Albany. Go Jesse. Team Jesse. No questions, just a lot of happy stuff and more celebrations. This is going to be a very easy one. Give us something hard. Ask us something challenging. What is something that's bugging you? Something that's stopping you from getting your agency to the next level? Something on fulfillment or delivery or acquisition or systems or delegation or hiring or law or anything that you can think of. We'll be here. Otherwise, we're going to just keep talking about filtered water bottles, and I'm going to look it up behind the scenes. Hey, Gilbert. Yeah, Lark water bottles. Well, as they come in, hang on. So, yeah, once in a while we get these like boil water advisories here because the water we get is from the lake, and if there's like we get these massive southeaster storms, and they like rip all this stuff up, and so everyone's like boil water, and so we installed this giant filter system down in our basement a few years ago. But the problem is it's so complicated, and it always breaks, and then it's not worth. Oh man, there's a lot to be said about simplicity. So
yeah.
Okay, Gilbert. Any tips or tricks to have your email warmed up as soon as possible to start picking up? Yeah, you betcha. Number one is, this is pretty much why we always have a few backup emails in play. So like one domain and one email inbox is really never enough. Like you should always have some going all the time so you can warm them up. Number two is understanding that there is an element of time, even if you do everything right, because there's signals that the email providers look for. And one of those is age of the domain and the email. So it's like 2 weeks is kind of the minimum. 1 month is really good. And then longer is better, but like 2 weeks is basically the minimum. After that, email warm-up software is the bomb. Use email warm-up software. It makes your life so much easier. We use Instantly. You can use Reach, Smart Lead, Lemlist, like Warmy, warm-up inbox. All of those things are going to work just fine. Barring that, look natural. So what you'll do is like you can start sending 1 or 2 a day to yourself and then to friends and family. Make sure that they move it to the inbox. Make sure that they hit reply. Make sure it looks like a normal email, and then go to 3 a day and then 4 a day. And then like just start to build it up naturally from there. Sign up for email newsletters, subscribe to different things, make it look like just a real legitimate thing. But of course, all of this can be bypassed with software and automation.
Yeah, I think also split out your cold email versus your like main inbox as well. So what we tend to do is, like Adam said, buy your main email. So let's say mine's dave@davejcrawford.com. I would keep that and I wouldn't do any cold outreach on that. And then I'd buy other domains to do cold outreach, because those cold outreach domains, they could get burnt and I could lose them. And I don't want to lose my main domain. So that's kind of how we set it up in the program.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, good point actually, Dave. Never use your main domain for cold email outreach. Because it will get burned. And then not only will the inbox get burned, but like your main domain will be burned, and then your website becomes less valuable. Quick note, you got to hit the like button, everybody. Sorry, that was the one price of admission. I see 1 like, that's sad.
We can do better than that. Sad. We need 15 likes.
We can do better.
We're cutting the stream off.
Yeah, that's it. We'll just like, what is that? Blackmail or bribe everyone. We need 15 likes or we're going away. Our egos are that fragile. Just brought on 2 designers to help me building websites. Yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, right on. Yeah. That's perfect. I mean, again, like if you're the one that goes in there and provides the finishing touches or like paints the face of the portrait and they can do all the other heavy lifting, that's such
a time-consuming task as well in your agency, Jesse. So like awesome that you can get rid of that. To build a website, it does take a lot of effort. So I think outsourcing that first thing or bringing in designers is a great call.
Yeah. Esteban, in the high-end restaurant niche, we're having a tough time researching owner names. Do names really matter? So 2 parts to this. The first is, yes, names matter, but the owner's name may not matter. Depending on how high-end the restaurant is, they're often owned by many owners, or conglomerates or this or that. So it's like, who's the maitre d' or the main host, or like who's the decision maker? Who's the general manager? Who's the person that you actually have to get a hold of? Fortunately, a lot of this information is super easy to find on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, calling the restaurant, asking for like who's the owner or the manager, or like just you want to pass on some good words, or send a thank you card to the owner, like who do I address it to, or a thank you card to the general manager, who do I address it to? Like those are nice easy ways to sort of get names without cold calling directly. Other than that, the name is just one area of personalization. So what you never really want to do is like have cold outreach that's like, hey, generic restaurant person, I help restaurants get leads, because there's like, cool, delete. But if you can address something that they are going to be like, oh, this person is real and this isn't a bot and whatever it is. So, hey, I noticed you had this special on, or I ate there last week, or a friend of mine just got back, or hey, I checked out your Google reviews and someone said that the tiramisu is amazing, or whatever it is. Like something to personalize it a little bit. The reason we don't typically do that as much is that it's time intensive to go do that kind of personalization, which is why the first name is just a really easy low-hanging fruit. But again, if you can't get it, you can't get it. But there's no excuse to still not find something else.
Yeah, I feel like if it's a high-end restaurant, like I would be almost going in there and just like having a meal and then starting to like build rapport, speak to the manager, speak to the staff, and then if you can get, there's not going to be that many high-end restaurants. If you can get to all of them as quick as you can, then that's probably going to really put you apart from the other people that are trying to work with them. I know it's time consuming, but if they're high end and you're looking to charge a high end service, then you have to go to that kind of next level and do things that other people don't.
Yeah, and you got to eat
High end food.
Two birds with one stone. Actually, that's another interesting thing as well. Is like if you are serving high end restaurants, again, I don't look at this as like an excuse to just blow your entire budget, but like you have to eat at some of them. Because like you need to know what it's like and what it feels like and how they act and how they talk and the clientele that's there and the busy times and this and that. Like you've got to be sort of embedded in that scene. Take a look at like the clothes that you wear when you're doing your outreach. If you're making a loom, like, are you dressing like they dress or like the clientele dresses? For example, like if I was doing high-end restaurants, like I wouldn't wear a black t-shirt. I'd have on some kind of collared shirt, probably a collared shirt and a jacket. Not necessarily like black tie event, but like I'd be looking the part rather than, excuse me, sir, can I help you?
Do you always dress for your niches then?
Always dress for your niche.
Come on as a roofer and then come on as a plumber and then
always. I've got like my costume closet is full. Yeah, I've got it. Which joke
secrets to growing a 7-figure agency.
Yeah, that's it. Things nobody tells you. But like jokes aside, like instead of say like dressing like a roofer, what I would do is I would dress like what's a roofer look like, say after shift, or a plumber look like after shift. So I might be wearing, like, joking aside, like Carhartts and a polo shirt, or like a pair of jeans and a polo shirt. Polo shirts, like the collared golf shirts, polo shirts, man, they work for most people. Like if you're stuck and you don't know what to wear, a golf shirt, plain, black or white or navy blue or something like that, like you're going to get a lot of mileage out of that thing and you're going to fit in most places. So you'll be dressed up enough for like a contractor and a plumber and a roofer, and you won't be like too underdressed if you go see a dentist or a chiropractor or anything like that. So I think we've talked about fashion a total of 0 times over our entire history of talking about agencies, but like the polo shirt is the winner, for men's fashion as well. Women, I don't know, a nice blouse. Solved.
Exactly. Fashionistas.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in a hoodie and you're in a black t-shirt.
I know, you're asking the wrong guys, but like, actually nobody asked. It was an answer to a question that nobody asked. All right, good stuff. Hey, Nikhil, do you think, I'm going to make that bigger. Do you think providing marketing services for a service-oriented business like pest control, plumbing, roofing is a better and faster way to go for beginners compared to product-oriented businesses? Yes, 100%. 100%. Like without a shadow of a doubt. I've got this in a number of different videos as well on like best beginner or best business for beginners to start. So many reasons. Like we don't have time to go into how many reasons it is, but to name a few, a product-based business has something called COGS, cost of goods sold, which means like you need to buy something in order to then go sell it, which means that your profit is automatically like halved, if not more. If you look at the margins of most product-based businesses, they're abysmal. Like they're really low. Plus then you have something called 3PL, which is logistics and shipping and storage and things like that. Even for things like drop shipping, you still have 3PL and stuff like that. Then there's the element of commoditization and differentiation. So product-based businesses, for example, Amazon, the behemoth, they look at what products sell best, then they make their own version of them. That's it. Then they cut you out because now they have their own version of it. So you can't really differentiate your spoon too much more. You have to build a whole brand around it. Service delivery, on the other hand, you're literally able to outcare your competition. Like it's not even outwork. You just literally care more, and you'll find that most people don't. And then it's yours for the taking. There's higher profit margins. It's easier to get into. There's lower startup costs. You're able to get results faster. Yeah, I think product-based businesses are very cool for like a 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th business. Same thing with software. Like if you were to start your own software business, like build your own software from scratch, like that's a millionaire's game. Like we don't play that when we're just getting started because it's brutal. And so actually software suffers the same problems as products in that we see this happen all the time. Large companies look at what the small software is doing and they're like, oh, that's wicked. We'll do that too. But ours is free now. And they use something called predatory pricing where they make the price of theirs free. And they just bleed you dry. So yeah, I like finding markets where I'm able to compete, and service businesses, man, from a beginner perspective, nothing comes close. I beat that one up hard, Dave. Anything?
Yeah, that one's dry. You've done that one.
Okay. I feel very passionate about that one.
Yeah,
This is coming from someone I should explain. I used to sell, like, one of my first businesses was making, they're called skimboards, and they're like a mini surfboard for the West Coast. And you would throw them on like super shallow water, and you'd go and skim on them. And I loved skimboarding. We did it every day. Got a flat beach near my house, and it was amazing. But like, I made no money. And they were really good skimboards, and I fiberglassed everything myself, and like everything was this boutique custom made thing. But it cost me like $80 in materials, and then I'd have to sell it for like $90 or $100, and there were bigger outfits doing it, so I'd be paying myself like $2 an hour. So the thought of scaling that up was just impossible. And then my mom, I love her, but she sold my template, my best template, because I was out one day and it was a garage sale, and sold the template I used to make all my skimboards. So I was like, well, my business is done. And that ended my business.
Your mom sold your business.
Yeah, just like sold it for like $5 at a garage sale. It was the end of something that probably should have never been started. Would you suggest high-level unsub link? How custom trigger link? Oh, hang on. There's a follow-up. The high-level unsub link or custom trigger links. I'm not sure where
Yeah,
or
I've done
when.
both. So
I see what you mean.
email. Yeah, this is on email. So yeah, I would just use the high level unsub link, unless you wanted to customize the page that they go to, and then you can just create a funnel. And on that funnel, then you can put some more information with like a resubscribe link if you wanted to do that. And then you use that as a trigger link. But if you just want to just add an unsubscribe link because you need to add one, just use the go high level one.
Done.
Cool.
Q, is there a process to do manual lead gen? Let me find a dark spot on the screen.
Your black t-shirt.
My black t-shirt right there. Then I'll just look down. Is there a process to do manual lead gen before doing cold? Okay, hang on. Is there a process to do manual lead gen before doing cold calls? I scraped businesses from Google Maps and had duplicate companies, had to check if they had Facebook Pixel on their site, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, there's a number of different ways to do lead gen prior to doing cold calls. One of which is exactly what you said. Like, in fact, technically you don't even have to scrape them. You can just go to Google Maps and like just start calling them. There's High Levels prospecting tool inside of that, works fantastic. There's building your own lead list. I guess it's not manual, it's using software, but like ListKit, Instantly, D7 Lead Finder, Apollo, all of those, like we can just buy lists, which for the record is probably money well spent, because of the amount of time it takes to scrape and then verify and validate leads. It just never makes sense. In fact, I think we can buy leads now. Oh man, I buy them in bulk, so I don't know, but I think even if you buy them cheap, they're like 4 cents a lead. Sounds right. So it's like 4 cents. Let's assume it takes you a minute. So 4 times 60 is 240 cents for an hour. Did I do that right? Hang on. How do I do the math? I'm trying to figure out like if I can scrape a lead a minute. No, that's right. Yeah, 4 cents. So 4 cents times 60 minutes is 240 cents. Basically. So divided by 100, $2.40. There we go. So you're basically paying yourself $2. I don't know why that was so hard. It's been one of those days. Can't do math. You're basically paying yourself $2.40 an hour to manually scrape leads, which to me is insanity, right? So find someone that can do it, or again, we just use software for it all the time, because $2.40 an hour is madness.
Yeah, I don't know if there's part of that question is the process of what you're doing to then like cold call them. So Q, I don't know if you're asking like, you're saying check a Facebook pixel, check if they've got Google business profile. So yeah, you obviously don't want to just cold call and not know like if they need your services. So yeah, you could obviously have like a checklist of like, quickly check their website, see if it's optimized, see if they come up on SEO, see if they're running any ads, see if they've got a pixel, see if they've got a Google My Business profile. Again, if you're doing that, you're probably going a little bit further, and yeah, you could probably hire someone to do that for you and create a list for you and then cold call them. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to build on that one with Dave, because basically you've got two different approaches. The first of which, the way that Dave's suggesting, which is right, is the first step though is you want to be clear on like what you're even doing and why you're doing it. So it's like, what's the offer you're going to lead with? So are you going to offer them like missed call text back or Google business optimization or some kind of reviews or whatever it is? Because that's going to allow you to find out like what's going to respond. By the way, you're going to have to test them. So I'd make like 100 cold calls offering, it's like, hey, are you unsatisfied with like, do you have a bad Google review you'd like to get rid of or whatever it is? Obviously do better than that, but, or hey, I noticed your Facebook pixel, which for the record, nobody really cares about that one as much anymore. That one got played out like 5 years ago. So we don't tend to use that one as much. The reviews thing still striking hot. Same with missed call text back and things like that. So you got to find the right angle. The second thing is, I would even argue you don't really need to do any research for cold calling. Like that's the purpose of cold calling. Is you find the offer or the hook that's going to get the most amount of people to respond, and then you hit them with it and you see how many yeses you can get per all of the calls that you make. Like if you're going to take a more detailed approach, then you'd want to like really weed that lead list down to like 1,000 top prospects and then go deep into each one of them and find out all of the things. But like the beauty of cold calling is it's just like rapid fire. It's like, hey, do you need this thing? Hey, do you need this thing? Hey, do you need this thing? Obviously, we've got scripts and that free scripts you can even download from somewhere on our videos. But like, yeah, do that. I think I'll leave that one there. All right. Jacopo, is email marketing / PPC ads for e-commerce more difficult for service delivery than local SEO or local service-based business? Is email marketing PPC ads for e-commerce more difficult for service delivery than local SEO? I'm going to read that again. Is email marketing, so is doing email marketing and ads for e-commerce harder than local SEO for local service-based business? So the answer is yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Way harder. And in fact, email marketing and PPC in general, regardless of the niche or industry, is harder than local SEO, which is, I don't want to say easy, but like we use a lot of software, and then it largely just becomes a, like the beauty of SEO is that there are no secrets because you can see the pages that are ranking at the top, and then you can see what they did to get there. And then you just do more of that. Like that's the reason I like SEO is I'm not guessing. Like when I'm writing an ad, let's say a really long form direct piece of copy ad, and it's very creative based. I don't know why one is working better than the other. I was like, this one works better than that one. We call them controls. And it's for any number of psychological triggers that I did or didn't push or whatever it is. But like when it's SEO, I was like, well, this site's ranking higher because it has more more backlinks, has better content, has more authority signals, has more reviews. So already that's easier. The second thing is local service-based business is easier than e-commerce for marketing in general. Because again, think about e-commerce, think about product businesses, think about the margins that they're operating with. They're already dealing with smaller numbers and smaller margins. Again, I did email marketing for e-com for a long time. And we did great, but like I wrote a lot of stuff and then there's some skills in marketing I think that I've got a bit of an edge on, and like copywriting and email marketing is probably one of them. So, oh man, I wouldn't recommend someone that wasn't like super keen on something like that. Cool. Jesse. I'm reading How to Build a Story Brand to Implement Story Branding, my website. Have I read it? Yeah. Awesome book. And would you say it's a good way to communicate a message for a therapist, or is there a better way? I like their thing. I think it's probably good. Yeah. I like the model. I like the template that they use. I like the simplicity of the website. There's probably a better way in like maybe working around Dan Kennedy's ultimate sales letter, having more areas for objections, telling more of a story, like implementing more copywriting would definitely be a better way, but like a better way that I may or may not do. Like just because it's better doesn't mean that like the juice may not be worth the squeeze. Like you're going to have to work a lot harder to do that. Whereas the story brand template for most people, most of the time, like for my clients, for your clients, I would just give them the story brand thing. For your website, I'd look into like, how do I get everything out of this that I possibly can?
Yeah, I would agree. I think the story brand's simple for a client to follow and write that text and build it. So I think it's a good approach.
Yeah. I had a question with that designer comment, but I pressed enter too soon. That's all right. I turned off slow mode too now. Like before we had slow mode, because back when I did the lives on the main channel, like some people would get in that probably shouldn't have been there and they would just like ask the same question, copy paste. And I was like, well, we got to stop that. Now I just started banning people. I used to be too concerned about that. Now I just ban everybody. Yeah. Wrong emoji. ban. Anyway, I digress. I press enter. Basically, what should I be looking at filling those time-consuming tasks from there? Hang on. What should I be looking at filling those time-consuming tasks from there? Dude, I don't know what you mean.
I think he's brought on 2 designers, and I think the question is like, what should he be getting them to do? And I think we answered this last week, and it's really everything that either that's super time consuming that you can't do, and stuff that you don't actually enjoy doing as well. And then stuff that doesn't require your skill set, because you can go in and look at that at a later date and improve it. So again, it sounds like you've taken on 2. Hopefully you've got enough work for them. But yeah, I think anything that you can delegate that gives you time back and you can go and do your revenue generating activities to scale the business, that's what you should give them.
Yeah, totally. And then if they run out of stuff, what are the things that you can get them to do from there? Like, is there another template they could design? Is there another, I don't know, structure or code or plugin or something? Like, is there anything you can do to sort of get ahead of the game for the inevitable next site? Could you have them spend a bit of time maybe documenting their process or training something else? Or again, I'm cautious about getting people to create SOPs because I find they often sort of just sit there and never get looked at or followed. But yes, anything like that. All right, Jasmine. I've fallen into the learning loop without actually getting clients. You and everybody.
I've been there.
Don't worry. I chose to have a web agency for pool construction. I like that. Is it wrong to come out the gate charging $3,000 to $5,000 without prior clients? It's not wrong. It's scary, I think, is the better thing to do. And it's not even scary for them. It's more like, do you feel comfortable doing that? And are you going to be able to get them the results that are going to ROI from that? There's something, first of all, I'm not against it at all. And I think it's fantastic. And I think most people undercharge. So you're in the right spot already. But I think if you're concerned about it, it's going to make it a lot more nerve-wracking if you're not able to get results at like $5,000 a month than if it was $1,500 or $2,000. Because like worst possible case scenario, nothing works. The client's mad. And then it's really nice to be able to be like, I did everything I could. It didn't work. Here's your money back. But that's really hard to do when it's like $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000. It's really easy to do it like easy. I shouldn't say easy. It's easier to do it like $500 or $1,000 or $1,500. You'd be like, no sweat. Here you go. And then you build up that confidence over time. So yeah, I love pool construction. I like most pool, high-end landscaping niche stuff. Web agency, I think we might be limiting it a little bit more in regards to the amount of work that you're going to get, the amount of money you're going to make, and the amount of ROI you're going to generate. Like, I'd rather you do, again, we'll fix this more later, but it's like marketing for pool construction companies. So it's like not just the website, but like, how are you going to stock that website with leads? How are you going to convert those leads into conversations? How are you going to get those conversations into contracts and appraisals and quotes and things like that? That's where the money is. Yes.
Yeah. I also think if you've not got any clients yet, and from my experience, is start smaller because you can always increase it. Whereas if you start high and then you start decreasing it, clients are like, well, why was it $5,000 and now it's $3,000? Like, what's changed? So yeah, start at like what figure that is comfortable for you. Like maybe it's $1,000, $2,000. And then once you get that first client, raise your price on the next sales call to $3,000 and then raise it again and then raise it again until you find that sweet spot and you're happy with what you're charging.
Yeah. So what I say to most people most of the time, and you can choose to do this or ignore this as you like, but I really like 1 to 3 clients free for your first ones because I want case studies, testimonials, and some kind of proof. I'm not doing everything for them and like all the things and pulling out of the stops, but I'm doing something so that I have a conversation with someone. I'm doing some kind of work. 30, 60 days is plenty. Next, 3 to 5 clients, $500 to $1,000, $1,500, somewhere in that range. Next 3 to 5 clients, $1,500, $2,500, around that range. Next 3 to 5 clients, now we can play with whatever I want. $3,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Because what's going to happen is you're going to then have proof of what sales and price point worked really well. And there is an inevitable point where the value just won't be perceived there as much. So it's like we could go to a business and be like, it's $30,000 and you're just going to get a bunch of no's. And I found that sweet spot. For me, it was like unbelievably easy to sell things up to and including about $2,500. Like we just close it all day. No, not even thinking. $2,500. I moved it to $3,500 I started getting a bit of like, what about this? What about that? I moved it to $5,000, and then it was like equal parts hit and miss. So like 50% was just too much, and it almost didn't matter the budget of the company. And I found out later from a very smart person that mentored me for years was that at around $5,000 a month, they start equating you with just like hiring someone full time to come in and do your job. Yes, they might not be able to do it as well, but they also know that that person is then going to be there full time. Whereas at like $2,500 and $3,000 even, they know they can't get like a quality full-time marketer in at that rate. So even if they're wrong, that's just the perception of it.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Good. Choke. Voted best Halloween costume. Yeah. So many costumes. One for strip club owners. I do not. It's a family-friendly show. I went out last year as a hot dog. And I forgot like it was so cold, and I didn't have like, it was a hot dog costume with no sleeves. And I was just brutally cold because it's like this thin piece of hot dog foam. Good pictures though. What's this middle-aged man doing walking down my street in a hot dog costume? Your video recently nominated for an acting award. Oh, right on. I don't know which one that is, dude, but I'll have to go check it out. I can't remember which one that was. I'm trying to add more. I had this chat with a strategist forever ago. We talked about adding the skits to the YouTube videos because my early videos have no skits and no comedy. And then I went through a phase where I was adding them like all the time, including awkward rap songs and like anything else I could think of. And what we watched, which was interesting, was we watched the retention when it hit the skits drop. Like people left, but the people that stayed loved them. And they were like, this is the greatest thing ever. And not because it was good, but because it was like, that dude does not care. Like he's having fun and it's okay. And, which is really the point that I was trying to get across when I was doing that. I was like, I don't care. Like I'm literally doing this for me. And because when my kids watch the videos and they see those parts, they light up. Like that's the only reason they'll watch like a marketing video is they love those skits. So yes, they probably overall hurt initial impressions, but long-term, they are, I guess they are as about as authentic as I am because they're weird and I'm weird.
Yeah, I enjoy them. They're good.
Yeah. Dude, I have so much fun doing them. And I never know. So again, half of the artistic creative credit goes to me. The other half goes to the editors because I'll give them like an idea and then they'll just take it and make it so much better than I did. So like my elf costume one, I was like sitting in the office in the elf costume and it looked fine, but then they put me in like a full on workshop. I was like, oh, that's nuts. That's wicked. Elf costumes all the time. All right, good. Okay. Oh man, my throat. I've been talking all morning. Also, I know you told me the program you're using right now for streaming on YouTube, but it doesn't exist for PC. I want to do more lives on Facebook where I can talk to therapists. Any suggestions? Dude, I don't know anything about PCs.
Stream Deck, StreamYard.
StreamYard? And there's one other one that... What's the other one? The main one that everybody uses.
The one that we use for the podcast. Does Riverside do it?
I don't think so.
No. I know StreamYard does.
Okay, there you go. Check out StreamYard. Yeah, dude, I wish I knew. My mother-in-law was having issues with her printer the other day, and I'm the family tech guy, which
send it to me.
I know it's it. Well, she's from the UK, so I'll be like, you just need to fly home. In fact, but like it was on a PC, and I was like, this is not going to happen for me. I don't know anything anymore. I haven't used a PC in over a decade, so I wish.
Turn it off and on again.
Yeah, that's it. Reboot. The ChatGPT sound effects from Adam. Oh, right on. Yeah. Okay, I remember that one. Yeah, where I was hiding under the desk making ChatGPT. That was weird. I've
not seen that.
Yeah, dude,
can we commission the editors to just put all of your skits together, and then
I made a list. You know what? Hang on, actually, 1 second. I have a list of them because I gave it to my kids, because I didn't want them like going through YouTube.
Tyler says he loves the skits, so I think like me and Tyler are here for it.
I wonder if it's like YouTube skits and raps and YouTube.
This is gonna be great.
I wonder if I have them. YouTube skits. Where was it? It was YouTube. What did I call that? Raps. I'm going to find it right now because we'll give it a second.
Jesse Esteban also says Restream. So you've got Restream and the other one, which was StreamYard. Check those out.
Adam Erhart rap and skit compilation. There it is. I found it.
Yeah.
It's a little old, so it's gonna be missing some of the new ones, but copy link. But anybody else? Yeah, I think it's even got them tagged on the time. So it's like if you click it, it should take it right to it. My kid's favorite one is the one with the fries, where it's like, do you want fries with that? And then there were more fries behind it. And then I ordered fries and they wanted more fries. Yeah, I don't know. They just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. They're kids,
light
though,
entertainment for this evening.
Yeah, that's it. That's like how to what is that? Like how to lose all faith in your local marketing guy. Okay, let's move on. I think though, again, the reason I don't mind doing it and showing it, and the reason that I tried to do more of it is to really show that it's not even that I don't care. It's that like no one that matters cares. I think that's it. It's like, I do it because I think it's funny. And then you're going to like it or you're not, and that's fine. Like totally fine. But I just think it's funny and nobody else will care. So I think it's different if they were incredibly offensive or whatever. I find I take issue with that when someone's like, well, I'm just a naturally offensive person. It's who I am. I was like, nah, I don't think you get to do that. I think if you got a weird thing for like hummingbird stained glass, you run with it. Like that's you. You can do that because you're not hurting anyone or offending anyone. But like anything else, hummingbird stained glass.
Where did that come from?
My mom used to do stained glass. I was thinking
oh my God.
We got
wow. New levels.
Oh, I tell you, that's our next product. Clark, what's a solid net profit margin for an agency? What would you say is the lowest net profit margin percentage you should be at as an agency owner? Okay. This is an amazing question. First of all, profit and revenue do not scale linearly, which is very important to understand. So as your revenue increases, your profit will go down because of the operating costs associated with it. That is just a fact of life, and it's totally cool. It's also why I'm jaded of all the people that are like, I have a $3 million a year agency, because they might have 1.5, 2 million, 2.5 million expenses. So actually on that note, what a lot of people don't even understand is like even our agency accelerator program, like our expenses are so high. They're just really, really high. Like as a way to make the most amount of money possible, this is not a good thing. As a way to like try to help as many people as we can, this is why we're here, honestly. But like our profit margins, just because of all the stuff that has to go into it, sucks.
Yeah.
That said,
I'm so expensive.
Dave's so expensive. We've got to keep them in stained glass hummingbirds. It's like all these custom art things he keeps requesting and printers that break. That said, what I like is like if the agency's at like 10K a month, I want 100% profit margins, not realistic, but like I want it so high, like it's not even funny. Same with 20K a month, same with 30K a month. I ran my agency up to like high 20s clients and around 50K a month with like 90+% profit margins for a long time. Like you should be banking all of that. 7 figures. Yeah, it starts to go down. Now the standard is, and I think it's BS. The standard is like 20% profit margin or 30% profit margin or something like that. I think is the standard. What they like, if you go to an accountant, even one in the agency space, they'll be like, how are you above 20% profit margins? It's like, if I wasn't, I wouldn't do this because of all of the work involved. So yeah, I think acceptable. It's going to depend because it's going to be on a range. I think if you're, let's say 30, I'm just random numbers. If you're at like 30 grand a month, I want you above 80% profit margins. Otherwise, the only exception is, are we in a scaling phase? In which case we eat into the profits to like build more team and infrastructure and try to like build it up. But if we're like happy where we are and all that, then there. 7 figures, so many factors start coming into play, like at around 100K a month, but I still want, oh man, I want 70. I'll take 60 maybe, but if I'm taking 60, I'm doing no work. Like my agency is pretty much delegated and outsourced. So I'm making 60K passive profit each month. If I have to start putting in more work, it doesn't make sense. I want more profit for that time. Multi-7, another thing again, because like you're going to need a COO and they're going to be 6 figures plus, and you're going to need more account managers and all of that, which is why, again, I think there is a sweet spot for an agency. And it is like pushing around that 7-figure mark, maybe even high 6 figures, where if you do it right, like a $50K a month agency will make you more profit than a crappy 7-figure agency that's just like destroying your life. And you'll work less and you'll make more money and you can save more and move all that. So yes, my best advice is I like figuring out what you need and want to live your dream life, really. So not like what you need and survive to get by, but like what's your dream life? Which, for the record, like if you really work it out, I'd be shocked if it was as high as most people think it is. Me, on like my most, again, I'm not really a baller, but like on my most baller month, maybe 20 grand, maybe 30 if there's like some trips that we're putting some cash towards. Never 50, never 100, ever. Unless we're like building another house, but like living expenses, like you just can't spend that much without being stupid, because you fill up your house with stuff. Like guitar, it's like 5 grand. Okay, so you buy a guitar and you buy another guitar, it's another 5 grand. I don't know, buy one a month. So you spent 60 grand, but I was like, but now you have like 10 guitars and you don't really need any more guitars. And then you buy a camera, it's 3 grand. You buy this and a shirt, it's $100 or $200, but then you've got enough shirts. Like it caps out pretty quick, to the point that, yeah, you just don't need any more, and then it becomes a point of like, well, why are you doing this? What do you enjoy doing? Is your work fulfilling? Are you making a difference? And I think growth is good as well. Like your agency should be growing, but just keep in mind all of that. That was a bit of a rant there too.
Yeah, you went hard on that one. Good work.
Yeah, I like, I don't know. I think it's probably just because I've been doing this thing for over a decade now, and I get tired of seeing people that are like, I built a 8-figure business, or my business makes 7 million a year. I was like, revenue, yes. Yeah. But like
5% profit margin.
Oh God. Yeah. We've seen behind them. We've seen behind like some of these big businesses, and they're just like, they're dying. I was like, so that sucks. Yeah. The other thing, and again, I'm not a tax lawyer, so ignore everything I'm about to tell you. But if you do it right, you can actually take a significant large percentage of your profit and then start putting that towards things that would have beneficial outcomes for your personal life as well. So again, it's like we use like guitars, they become, point over there, guitars, like they become wall art. I think we categorize it as, because we swap it through. Cameras are basically all equipment. Computers are all equipment. Travel, we make sure that we're doing something related to business, so that's all right off. So yeah, there's other ways to do that. Okay. We used a skimboard here at Jersey Shore. Hey, that's wicked. Yeah, it's fun. Who does the video editing? Special team people. They're busy though. I wish I could pass them on to you, but
yeah, yes. You wouldn't even send them to me.
I know they're fully booked.
Fully booked with all Adam's skits in elf outfits underneath desks doing ChatGPT sounds.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They sent me a thing the other day inside the office and it was just like me on every computer screen. I was like, that's too much me. Okay, awesome, buddy. Gilbert, you say not to dive too much into site creation, bad RGA, but for someone that does but don't do SEO, how do you handle the client that says, I want SEO done? Can Another do SEO if website is GHL made? Yeah, you can do SEO on any website. GHL is just fine. So high level for anybody. They do need a website, obviously, to do SEO. But yeah, you don't need a fancy website. You don't need WordPress or Wix or Weebly or Square or HTML, whatever.
Yeah, then you can outsource it. So yeah, you don't need to know SEO. You can get someone in to do that for you, and then you can white label that and sell the service.
Yep, totally. Is there a tool out there that audits video marketing only? Like we see in Module 5 about SEO audit tools and softwares, but I'm looking for one that just does the video aspect of a company. No, not that I know, because I don't know how it would, right? Because like, what is it looking for? Is it looking for the text of it? Is it looking for the lighting? Like if there's something specific, Clark, let me know. But like, as far as looking at a company's video marketing, there's nothing I know of that's out there, and nothing I know that could be out there, because it would be so subjective on what it is. Like SEO is so qualitative. It's like, it has this many links. It has this much stuff. It has this many other things. I mean, if you're looking for like video SEO, which I think is a relatively useless thing to do anyway, but relatively, there's some value. Then there's tools that do it, which are TubeBuddy and vidIQ. So they will look at the video SEO aspects, but that's just on YouTube. I just heard you say get rid of a bad review. What? How's that even possible? It's possible. Hang on, where's the link? Erhart.
I've got one. Reputations.io.
Yeah, we do it through High Level.
Okay.
Yeah, but mind you, these are Google reviews. So I don't know if you have a bad review on Yelp or Facebook or whatever it is. Then maybe Reputations. Yeah. But yes, for that, they have, it's reputation management, and you basically go through and you submit a appeal. Many of them are nonsense bots, people that have never done stuff, and you can have them taken down, which that's a cool offer to give to a business owner.
Yeah. High Level for the win.
Yeah. I know they continue to amaze. There we go. Hang on. Let's put that on the shirt. I don't know if you need the HTTPS thing. You might just try the aerh.co/high level.
It works.
Does it? Okay, cool. Okay. Let's keep going.
Let's keep rolling.
Keep rolling. We're on a roll. There's good questions today, everyone. Thumbs up to yourselves, as in the like button, to everybody for the great questions, and not for Dave and my fragile egos that need to see the like buttons go up.
That's all we ask for you. Especially you, Jesse.
Can't feed your kids with likes. All right. Sam, what are your best resources to learn copy from zero to hero? That book, actually, I think on the advertising book, they'll probably say it as well. There's a couple books that I really like that I always have around that I probably finally put away. The Joe Sugarman copywriting book is really good. Actually, I might just start with that one, honestly. Then anything by the heroes of like Eugene Schwartz, Robert Collier, Gary Halbert. Those are always good. The old classics. David Ogilvy. And then look for good copy. I know it's hard to know, like, if you don't know what good copy is, but like look for copy that's been around for a while. And honestly, it sounds silly, but like write it out by hand. I used to have to do that. One of my old copy mentors made me do that, and I thought he was an insane person. And then I got good at copy, and I was like, maybe you're not so crazy. Just because it sort of forms a muscle memory and it puts the words in your head, and you'll understand like the words they use and the structure and the flow. But copy, like marketing, is the most valuable skill you can learn, and copy is probably one of the most valuable subsets of marketing. Choking. All right, we got like 5 minutes. See how many we can hit, or 8 minutes. I have a client who wants to buy a website and wants a website. Do I build a landing page in High Level and start ads? I can't get to her website till November, or wait until her website is up and do it after. I mean, it really depends how busy you are. Honestly, I like bird in the hand rather than two in a bush. So I try to get the client as quickly as possible, because if you don't do it, she's going to try to find another one if she gets impatient. So whatever you can to help her now.
I wouldn't run traffic to a website. So you probably are going to have to build a funnel anyway. So if that's the case, build the funnel, run traffic to it, and then build the website afterwards.
Yep. Especially with that follow-up once Google Ads. Yeah, exactly what Dave said. Yeah, we never run. You know this already, Jesse, but we never run Google Ads to a homepage. You can build a landing page on the website, but if you're going to do that, I'd probably do it through High Level anyway, because then it's got the baked-in split testing, which we always split test. So, choke. All right. Q. So if I change the outreach template to something like, we work with auto dealers to help them get more calls, is getting more calls a priority for you? A blanket enough offer for cold calling? Yeah. I mean, we work with auto dealers to help them get more calls. Is getting more calls a priority for you? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't lead with that. I'd be like, hey, it's Q calling from da-da-da. Is this, etc. How are things going? Look, well, get right to it. The reason I'm calling today is we work with auto dealers to help them get more qualified calls. I'd put some kind of thing on it. Qualified calls, high ticket calls, full detail calls. Like what are the things that they're actually looking for? Is getting more calls a priority for you? Also, they're not looking for more calls. They're looking for more clients. So we're like, this is marketing agency mistake 101. Number one, I think, is that we're always trying to sell, or they're always trying to sell I'm not going to include us in this anymore. We moved past this one. But like marketing agencies are always trying to sell the what and not the result of it. So it's like, we do Facebook ads. No one cares. We get you calls. They maybe care. We do SEO. No one cares. They might say they care, but like what they really care is the result that comes from it. And the beauty is that when you sell the result and they want the result, well, then we can use whatever tactic is going to be best suited and in alignment with you and them and their budget. Could be calls, could be Facebook ads, could be this, could be direct outreach, but they don't care as long as their money comes in. Yep. Tyler, does the outsourcing platform you use and share in the accelerator provide SEO fulfillment services? Yep. SEO is a big one. Yeah, and a good thing to outsource first, actually. You like the skits. See, there we go. That's the people that matter, like the skits, the people that are here.
We're here for it.
Love the skits. Oh yeah, there's so many of them now. So I'm gonna have to go through and add the other random ones. Oh, it was the ChatGPT sounds.
Oh, the 2024 version.
Oh, man, so updated. I wish I started doing them earlier because just gotten so much older and more haggard. Now you're stuck watching skits. Yeah, exactly. Productivity. That's not a revenue generating activity. Put the YouTube down. Jasmine, show pricing on a site or book a call? It depends. For most people, most of the time, book a call. Most people, most of the time. And the reason is because price is subjective. And so if someone sees a price and they don't have the proper context for it, what it's going to do, why they care, anything like that, it's going to look expensive or cheap. And ideally it would look expensive because you probably provide more value, but you just can't communicate all of that. Unless you're just the world's most amazing copywriter. And even then, even us copywriters that have been doing this for a long time, we still have rules of like, if it's less than $2,000, pardon me, there's even less. If it's less than $500, we'll sell it through a sales page. If it's 500 to 1,000, we'll sell it through a sales page or a webinar. If it's 1,000 to 2,000, maybe 2,500, we'll sell it through a webinar. If it's above 2,000 to 2,500, we'll sell it through a sales call. There we go. That was an important thing. Clark, overall metrics of their videos. Yeah, the only thing I can really think of is software like Wistia, where if you upload the video into Wistia, you can then track everything, where they drop off, where they pause, where they rewind, where they do this. But as far as like going into random people's videos, yeah, not like that, unfortunately. YouTube does it sometimes where it shows you like the spikes and dips of where people go. I find that useless. Yup. I see 2 likes and I'm one of them. My job's done. Good. Yeah, excellent. Oh, Jesse, right on. Thank you. Yeah, we need all the likes. Yeah, Jim Edwards, copywriting. Good also. Oh yeah, Paul, right on, man. Glad you like it. Okay, we'll keep them up. I haven't written a rap in a while. I was thinking of one the other day about sweaters because it was getting cold. So it's there on the tip of my tongue.
Stained glass rap. That's what we're here for.
Stained glass hummingbirds. People have what is unsubscribe? What's happening? All right, good man. Yeah, you know the drill. Okay, wicked. Yeah. There's some in there. Okay, I think we got a bit more here. Okay, Zane, I'm going to hit you, and then I'm going to finish it off with Tyler's, and then I think we'll call it because I had to go eat, and my voice is shot. Zane, sent a few hundred looms, barely any views, switched to cold calling, made almost 1,000 cold calls, had 4 to 5 sales only as the no-show rate is more than 50%, not getting any traction. Do you think this would be the right moment to switch niches? A few hundred looms, made almost 1,000 cold calls. So good for you. Hit the numbers. To me, though, prior to switching, so yeah, the answer for most people, most of the time is like, no, we don't switch niches. You've hit the mark there, buddy, of doing the required minimum work. So 2 things. First of all, I want to make sure that the reason that we're not getting traction is because of the niche and not because of the offer that we're making to the niche that we have, which is more likely the case. Like we have this saying where there's no bad niches. It's just like there are, but like yours isn't one of them. And it's like, unless it's sock knitting for kittens. Like there's no bad niches. They all work. So the question is, what is the offer that you're actually going to make to them? And do they actually want it? And how are we phrasing it? And is it something that's irresistible and valuable? Which is more often the case. That said, if we think it's like a really, really good offer and we're making it, and for some reason we're still not getting traction, then yes, we could look at a different possible niche, because it could just be, just not getting traction with it. Cool. All right. Yeah, I think Paul's asking you that as well in the comments about niche and offer. Tyler, all right, final question. We'll wrap it up. What do you use for tracking and measuring KPIs? Two things. We use High Level, actually, for the stuff that tracks most things like VSL, opt-ins, follow-ups, qualifications, et cetera, et cetera. That's the one I'd recommend for most people most of the time as well. Then we also use Hyros, which we use for content, but it's another expense, and you also have to put tracking links on every bloody piece of content that you make, which is ridiculous. It's neat and it's cool to see like where sales and leads and all that come from, but it's a bit of a beast. So yeah, start with High Level. Google Analytics is also free and easy to use, and you just install it and then it kind of does all this stuff for you. And then if you want, you can move to something like Hyros later.
Yep. It's a wrap. Thanks, guys. If you can hit a like, please do so. We appreciate it. We love being here and answering all your questions. So yeah, we'll be back next week.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone. And thank you, Dave. And we'll talk to you a bit there, buddy.
My pleasure. See you guys.
All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.